would recommend when it comes to surviving in such an environment, which is full of so many like high achievers? Because I know it can be challenging, and like I sometimes get nervous about the fact that I'm going to enter a space which is full of like so many more like me, who want to do things. So like, how do you kind of navigate yourself around that?
Yeah, that's definitely tough for sure. I mean, especially if you're going into an environment where, like you mentioned, there are a lot of high achievers, and probably up to this point in your life, you have stood out as a high achiever, in school or in other jobs that you have, and all of a sudden now you're in an environment where, not that you're average, but everybody else is also
Yeah.
very high achieving. The term imposter syndrome comes to my mind. Like, imposter syndrome, I find is real, feeling like you're maybe not meant to be in the place where you are. But I think that having confidence in your own ability and having confidence that, the universe brought you to this place, or all your hard work kind of brought you to this place, is you are meant to be here, and you are meant to, there's a reason why you're going to be working at this company or doing whatever it is that you're going to be doing. So I think that's, have confidence in yourself and confidence in your abilities. I think that for something that I really had to learn at the beginning was not to say yes to everything, because I wanted to figure out how to stand out. Or, I thought that I never want to say no. I always want to be just saying yes, yes, yes. Everything's an opportunity for me to learn. And then that kind of led to me getting a little bit burnt out and spreading myself too thin.
Yeah.
But in large firms, and even in small firms as well, there's probably opportunities for you to do work that's really meaningful for you and really exciting, and things that you're passionate about. So I would recommend probably finding those areas, and not just taking on everything. There's I'm sure in different roles you have the ability to kind of choose, maybe it's not like the full work that you're doing, but choose extra projects that you take on, or extra things that you get involved in. And I would just be cautious to not overwhelm yourself with that, because you don't want to get burnt out right away, and instead think about what truly is meaningful for you and what truly excites you, and find those areas. And then and then when you love what you're doing, then it makes it just so much easier to come to work. And so, yeah, definitely find those areas and kind of do that. So that's what I'd recommend, is don't feel like you have to take on too much, and be confident in what you are, and take it. You have time to take the time to sort of figure out what it is that you're good at and what you like to do.
Yeah, no, definitely. And if I were to summarize, like, the three things that you mentioned, I think one of the first thing was you said, like, be confident about yourself and your abilities, because I think it's very true. Like, even like in a competitive environment, like, even though everyone's a high achiever, I'm sure they all specialize in certain areas. That is what distinguishes you from them. Everyone's unique at the end of the day, even though everyone might be a high achiever. So I think having that realization is also important. And then second, you mentioned is not saying yes to everything. I resonate a lot with that. Because I do that very often. And like, it's actually driven by the idea that, oh, I want to like, prove myself at times. But I feel like it's not about like, if you know you're good, you don't have to keep wasting time just proving it, rather just give a good amount of your time to things that mean a lot to you. Like, the third point you mentioned is engage in things that you're passionate about. Don't do things just because it helps other employees, for example, stand out. So just because they're doing it, it's not like you have to do it as well.